At the end of the video, I'll show you how you can get this look with the sprinkled glitter. So I'm going to show you a few of the brushes. This one is the sprinkled glitter base, small and big, and so I just like this because it kind of looks like those broken little flecks of glitter. This one is just the one size, and you'll see how we make it colorful after. You can change the size as you make it bigger. It gets more spread out, and as you make it smaller, it gets like really compact. I wouldn't ever go this small, but so you are able to do that. Now for the confetti brushes, they are able to do two colors at once, and so when you press lightly, one color will go down. When you press firmly, another color. And you can also change the size of the confetti, and you can make it smaller. So that one's the rectangles, this one is the squares, this one is the hearts. So again, when you press firmly, one color will go down. When you press lightly, another color will go down. And then there's circles, and there are triangles, which I really love the triangles. And when you kind of get to like the middle pressure, it actually will create a color that's like a combination of the two, which I really like. And the spirals and stars. Now the brush that is called Sparkle Overlay Big Sparkles is actually my shimmer brush. And so if you don't have it already, then now you have it. If you do, now it's just organized for you in this brush pack. The one above it though is not meant for writing. It's just meant for making the sparkles smaller. So I'm going to do the small and big base. Alright, so I'm going to swipe my layer to the left, and I'm going to tap duplicate. And then once that happens, I'm going to tap the arrow and slide it over to the right, and I'm going to show you the difference between the small glitter and the big glitter, just to show you the difference of how it looks. To be able to add the glitter over, we're going to tap the bottom layer and then hit the plus sign to create a new layer above it, then tap it and hit clipping mask. Then for the layer above, we're going to hit the plus sign so a layer comes above it, and then we're going to tap it and hit clipping mask. And this is going to allow us to add that brush over top. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tap in the top right on my color wheel dot, and it's going to open up the palette that comes with your brushes, and I'm going to pick the third in, second down, if that makes any sense. You'll see me tap it in a second. I just really like this color, but pick whatever color you want to go along with me. So this is the small, make sure you're doing it over the right one. So this is the small sparkles or glitter or overlay, whatever you want to call it. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to play around with the pressure you put and how closely you put it together, because as it overlaps, it gets lighter and lighter. And so you'll see right here, as I go over it, you'll see how much lighter it gets. So you want to avoid overlapping as much as possible. So the next one we're going to do, go into the other empty layer, and we're going to put the big sparkles. So you can kind of see the difference. I personally prefer this one just because I feel like it has more contrast. When you look at glitter, there's darker colors, lighter spots, just dependent on how the glitter's turned and where the light's hitting it. For more dimension, you could get your big and small sparkles again and just put another layer over top and play around with doing a slightly lighter version. So you can put a layer above and hit clipping mask like we did before, and then you can slide in that same, on the inside, that same color. You can just pick a little bit of a lighter shade, and so this will give more dimension to the glitter. So with the confetti brushes, I'll just show you what you can do with these. Honestly, there's so many different things that you'd be able to do and so many different designs that you'll be able to do, but I'll just kind of show you layering wise just quickly, but this is pretty basic. You just put down one layer, and so that you're not, if you make a mistake with the other shapes or other confetti, you can erase them if you keep them in a separate layer. So just every layer that you do of the confetti, put it in a different layer. So next I'm going to put down some of those spirals. I've spread these ones out pretty far because when I was looking at different confettis, I really liked the look of these spirals inside, and they were just kind of sporadically in there. There wasn't like a ton of them. And then what you can also do is put down in another layer circles, and honestly you can do this with any shape, but I thought it looked really cool with circles, is put a clipping mask above the circle, grab one of the overlay colors, and then grab either the small sparkles or the big sparkles, and then you can put them over these circles so that they look like golden confetti. So you can do this with any of the confetti brushes. You can use that overlay over top of it and make them sparkly rather than the dual tone confetti or the two colors. So this is just a few of the things that you can do with the confetti brushes, but honestly there are so many different things, so don't use this as just the only way you can use them. This is just kind of to give you an idea of how to use them without having to worry about erasing. And you can play around with the color with that magic wand. You go to hue, saturation, brightness, and then you can use the slider to play around with the color. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do one of the recent pieces that I did, or one similar to it. So pick whatever colors you like. There's no hard and fast rules to this. It's abstract. It's just about letting the creativity out of you and having fun. So go to the stock paintbrush, go to the painting section, and then go to the gouache brush, and then just start putting it down and just have fun, let loose. There's no rhyme or reason to where I'm putting it. I'm just doing what feels good, creating, and I'm just getting color down. So just have fun with it. Do however you want, pick whatever colors you want, and then what you're going to do is get a new layer. So tap on your layer, press the plus sign, and then get black, and then you're going to go back to our brush set, which is the sprinkled glitter and confetti, and get the glitter base that's big and small. And then this is just what I've been doing. What I thought looked cool is just putting it on the edge. So just put it where you want, put it where you think looks good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do what we were doing before. We're going to open our layers, press the plus sign, tap it, hit clipping mask, and now we can go into our overlay colors, pick whatever color you want, and if you don't love it, it's okay. I'll show you how to change it after. So pick what color you like, and then we're going to go into our brushes, and you can do either the small sparkles or the big sparkles. I'm going to choose the big sparkles just because I like the way it looks. Now we're just going to do what we did before. We're going to just start going over top of all of the base to add in that glitter look. And if you really like that look of darker and lighter spots, just make sure that you're spacing it out. Don't go over top too much. If you want to make it a little lighter in some spots, then overlapping is what gives you the lighter look, and further apart will give you the darker look. So now what I want to do is add another layer. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go get our big and small brush, and we'll make sure that we're just putting over top of that layer, but it's a separate layer. So if you need to play around with the coloring, this will make it so that we can do that. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to open our layers, press the plus sign, tap that layer, and hit clipping mask, and then we're going to go and pick that same color that we picked. So whatever color you chose, go back to that same color, but we're going to then make it a little bit lighter. So we'll just go over all the new black specks that we had made. And so this is just going to give us some more added dimension going around. So it's the same color family, but we just made it a little bit lighter, and There's a few ways you can do that, but you can just move it around in that inner circle. And now, if you want, you can make another layer by pressing the plus sign, and you can use the sparkle overlay because it is my shimmer brush. You can use this to write out a fun word. So you might want to bring the size down just based on the pressure that you write with. And then write your word. Once you have it down, instead of rewriting it, if you want to change the color, tap the magic wand, hit hue, saturation, brightness, and then on those sliders, you can change the color on the top bar, you can change how intense it is on the middle bar, and you can change the lightness and darkness on the bottom bar. So you can slide that around and pick which color you like. To make it stand out, you can go into your layers, slide that layer, the word layer, to the left and hit duplicate. And then you tap that main layer, the bottom layer, get a black color, go back to your layer, tap it, hit select, go back into your layers, tap it, and select fill layer. And we're going to use this to make a shadow. So tap your arrow, and you can either shift it or you can just tap on your screen, it'll move down. And then you're going to go hit the magic wand, hit Gaussian blur, and you're just going to slide your finger or your stylus or your Apple Pencil across the screen to blur it out. I'm going to go to 4.5%. Then you're going to go to your layers, tap that black layer, hit the N, and pull the opacity down until it's where you want it. I'm going to move it down to about, let's see here, like 35, between 30 and 40, but you can put it to however you want. And then this will give it a little bit more shine and will help it to pop off the page. It also looks really good with just a basic brush. So these are my basic brushes that I sell. This is my Bridie brush that you can find in my Etsy shop. And so I'm just gonna write out a word. And this is how you use my sprinkled glitter and confetti brush set. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will do my best to help you figure out any of the problems you might run into. And then please tag me on Instagram, Blush River Design, so I can see what you make.